Legends. I just absolutely laughed myself senseless watching this little film. Legends, welcome along to Coins Age Media. This is a movie review, this time of those heroes, Laurel and Hardy. Brilliant little film this here. It's the live ghost from 1934. It stars, of course, Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, along with Walter Long, Mae Bush and Arthur Houseman, who again turns up as a drunk in this short film. It's a 21-minute short, and basically Walter Long plays a ship captain who needs a crew but can't get a crew because everyone thinks that his ship is haunted. So at the beginning of this short, he's in this saloon bar sort of setup, and he's trying to get people to come work for him, and nobody's having anything to do with it. And as he leaves, goes back to the docks, he finds Stan and Ollie fishing, and hires them basically to Shanghai him a crew, and he's going to pay them $1 a head for each one. So the comedy slapstick moments kick off straight away with Stan going into the bar and tricking the guys to chasing them out. And this clip went a wee bit viral a while back on Facebook. I've seen it in quite a few places, where he comes in, sits down at the table with two sailors, and he's got a bag with him, and he takes an egg out, sets it on the table, and the guy asks him, what are you going to do with this egg? And Stanley says, I'll bet you $1 that you can't put this egg in your mouth without breaking it. And of course the guy's like, no problem at all. So he lifts the egg, puts it into his mouth, then Stanley hits him underneath the chin, breaks the egg, and of course your guy gets up, chases Stanley out of the bar, and outside Oliver is waiting with a shovel and hits the guy over the head, knocks him out. The captain lifts him up, takes him to the boat, and that's the start of him getting his crew. So this goes on and on and on until, you know, he gets a full crew. But on the last man, Oliver goes in place of Stanley, because he's like, you know what, I'll go in this time, because these guys are going to know you by now. So same deal with the egg, only it backfires on Ollie, where he says to the sailor, if you can put this in your mouth without breaking it, I'll give you $1. And the wee sailor is like, you know, if you do it first, then I'll do it. So of course Oliver, being Oliver, puts the egg in his own mouth, and the guy, having seen Stanley do the trick earlier, hits Ollie underneath the chin, breaks the egg, starts laughing, and of course Oliver gets his own back by sticking another egg into his mouth, hitting him a chop under the chin, and that's it. Up the guy gets, chases Oliver out, and of course Stanley can't manage to hit the guy in the head properly, and in the process hits Oliver, knocks him out, then gets a wee sailor, knocks him out. Just as the captain comes up to lift the sailor, Stanley accidentally hits him in the head. Doesn't knock him out, but the captain knocks Stanley out. So the next morning, he has his crew. They've already set sail. Everyone is stuck in the hold of the ship, including Stan and Ollie. And of course the crew are not happy about being shanghaied, and they're blaming these pair, and you know, they're going to just lynch them where they're standing at. But Walter Long comes in, and he's like, you know what, these guys are under my protection on this boat, nobody's going to touch them, they're my friends. You know, if anybody does hurt these guys, I'm going to twist their heads around, so whenever they're walking away, they'll be looking backwards, sort of thing. So Stan and Ollie, they're going to be safe as long as they stay on the boat, and 10 ports later they're still on the boat. The crew's getting shore leave. Stan and Ollie will not leave the ship, because they feel that if they stay there, they're under the captain's protection, they can't get hurt. So everyone leaves, apart from, well, he does try to leave, but Arthur Houseman as the wee drunk sailor in this movie, and he does turn up in quite a few Laurel and Hardy movies, always as a drunk guy. So he tries to leave, the captain won't let him, and he puts Stan and Ollie in charge of keeping him on the boat. So he decides, Houseman decides he's going to sneak off the boat, and he gets Oliver and Stanley to leave the cabin, and he's like, would you mind leaving? They get undressed for bed, sort of the thing. So whenever they're outside, he puts a couple of suitcases into his bunk and kind of makes a fake body for himself to make them think he's actually asleep. So whenever they come sneaking back in, thinking that he's asleep, he sneaks out and leaves the boat. And as Stan and Ollie are getting changed to get into bed, Stanley comes across a gun. The gun accidentally goes off, shoots the bunk where they think Houseman is sleeping, but of course he's not. It's a couple of suitcases made up to look like a body, and things just start getting crazy. Then they're going to try and cover up the murder by sticking the body into a bag and chucking it overboard, weighted down with coal to make it sink. And if we do this here, we'll get away with it. It's there's no morals at this point. So while they're getting that sorted, we cut to on land where the captain has met up with Mae Bush in a bar, and he's chatting her up, and you and me should get married, sort of a thing. And she's like, I was married to a sailor that left me years ago, and if I ever catch him, I'm going to kill him. We cut over to see what Houseman is doing. He's staggering his way through the streets trying to find a bar to get drunk, and he comes across a ladder, almost walks below it, and he's like, no, that's bad luck to do that. And he goes around the front of the ladder, trips over and falls into this big thing of white paint. So of course he was wearing nothing but black clothes, and he comes up out of this and he's white from head to toe. So we know where this is going straight away. He decides he's going back to the boat, and things just get crazy from here on in. Where Stan and Ollie have went to get a bag to dispose of the body. While they're gone, Houseman has came back into the cabin, took all the suitcases out, and he's gotten into the bunk where Stan and Ollie think that they've actually killed him. So they come back in with this big bag. He's fallen asleep at this point, and they chuck him into this bag and throw him overboard. And of course, right, we're in the clear now, we can go get back into bed, get a good night's sleep. But as Stanley is closing the cabin door for the night, he looks over and he sees Houseman coming across the side of the boat. He's climbed up out of the water, still completely white from head to toe. Stanley thinks he's seen a ghost. Now the thing is, in this short movie, the captain of the boat goes crazy anytime anyone mentions the fact that his boat is haunted. He doesn't believe in ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. If anybody says ghost to me again, I'll kill them, sort of a setup. So yes, Stan and Ollie end up getting chased around this boat by Houseman. He hasn't got a clue what's going on. Like, the pair of them are freaking out, thinking he's dead. He's come back as a ghost, white from head to toe. They're screaming, running around the boat. The rest of the crew have also decided they're going to sneak back aboard the boat and lynch Stan and Ollie for having shanghaied them in the first place. They all turn up in the middle of this. They also think they've seen a ghost, and all these guys start jumping overboard. And of course the captain turns up along with Mae Bush, and he's like, what the heck is going on here? And Mae Bush straight away recognises Houseman as the husband that left her. So the last you see of him, he's getting wheeled to death with an umbrella by Mae Bush, running for his life. And Stan and Ollie are at this point still freaking out and make the mistake of saying to the captain, we've seen a ghost. And the short ends off with the captain pretty much twisting their heads right around, and we get that epic line of Oliver, "This is another fine mess you've gotten me into." Absolutely brilliant little film. I can't recall if I've ever seen this in its entirety before. There's a few parts of this that I have seen somewhere along the line. I can recall a few of the scenes out of here, but again, I did say that the sequence at the beginning with the egg trick in the bar was going kind of viral about a few of the Laurel and Hardy Facebook pages, and yes, that was fresh in my memory from that. But I'm pretty sure I have seen this somewhere along the line. But in saying that, I've been a huge fan of Laurel and Hardy all my life. I'm 40 now, and I've been watching these guys since the earliest I can remember seeing a Laurel and Hardy film. I was probably 4, 5 years old, 6 maybe, and around that. So yeah, I've been watching these guys for a long time, and they never get old.